Oh shit! I forgot to turn the thing around. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin the McKell. We are back with a new video. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I enjoyed my weekend. First, just want to say thank you to everyone who sent me messages, text messages, who called me just to make sure I was okay after the 2-year anniversary of my mom passing. I'm doing okay. You know, it was an okay day. On Thursday, I worked, and then I won't even want to say okay because I worked. And I went out with Mario to go get some drinks. And, you know, his birthday was yesterday. So it was kind of like, you know what, let's just hang out. And it took my mind off of it. I didn't think of nothing until I got home that night. And I just went to sleep and went to work the next day. But my co-workers, they had got me a card. And they, you know, most of them signed it. And I was appreciative of that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out in their way. Thank you. So I normally be like, you know what, I don't even want to talk about other stuff, but I think that this is something that we do need to talk about. And that was a shooting that happened this past weekend in Buffalo, New York, at a Tops supermarket. It was a white supremacist who was radicalized online and went to a predominantly black area where that supermarket is. And he decided that he wanted to shoot and kill as many as he could.
And as many black people.
Yeah, as many black people as he could. And he killed 10 black people. And I believe he injured some people. Some people did survive the attack.
Yeah, 3. So he shot 13 people. 10 died, 3 survived.
Yeah. And I'm glad that it wasn't more, because he could have with the ammunition that he had. Right. It's just a horrible story to hear. I heard about it on Saturday, but I didn't. You know how you hear about stuff that happened, you just say, "Oh, it's just another terrorist attack," or someone just going crazy. But I never would have thought that this was a white supremacist that's going around killing black people. You don't hear about this. You haven't heard about this since the 9 people were killed in the church.
In Charlottesville.
Not
Charlottesville. Charlotte, North Carolina.
It was South Carolina, I think. South Carolina.
Charleston.
Yep, Charleston.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the other one. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Charleston, South Carolina is where that happened when 9 members of the church were killed, and one wasn't killed so she could tell everybody what happened. And you know, something that McKell said is something, but it's something that I thought, and I was like, you know, it's not enough outrage about this. You know, everyone, you could blame all the people on TV, but it also starts at home too. I believe it starts at home. Parents, you need to be knowing what your children are out here doing. Seeing what they're doing on the internet. Just be focused, be attentive in their lives. This child was able, because he was 18. He's not a child, but he's a teenager, radicalized online by replacement theories. So I did hear about this online, and I know they said that Tucker Carlson talks about it a lot, and he actually did. I think they were saying like the browning of America, that they're bringing immigrants all over so immigrants can replace the white people and that they can vote Democratic, and that's why Democrats won't be able. I mean, that's why Democrats will be able to win all the races, because they got
not because
people
majority of the people agree with some of the Democratic policies, but simply because Democrats attract more to brown people.
Yeah,
is that what he's saying?
Right.
But we don't say that when it comes to Florida, and most of the Hispanic population is voting Republican.
Right.
We don't say that.
No. We don't say anything.
Neither do that.
It's just like, what is wrong with, like, everybody wants to complain, but nobody wants to vote.
Or when most of the Hispanic population in Texas is voting Republican.
Yeah, it's
we don't say
no. We don't say
that.
We don't say anything.
Right. Or when Republicans actually win, we don't say, "Oh, this is a white thing."
Yeah. I mean, if you want to
blame us for not going out and vote.
Right. If you want to win a vote and you want to win it legally, then you wouldn't have to do all of this. Oh well, we're gonna shut down weekend vote-ins and Sunday vote-ins, and you can only come between these times. We're not gonna have enough polls. So y'all doing a lot of things to cheat the win. When it's as simple as just putting your message out there and getting people to vote for you. So yeah, he was radicalized. He killed 10 people, and just Mikkel just showing me. Well, not she didn't show me anything.
Yeah.
Just watching on Channel 6. What's his name?
David Muir.
David Muir. And him just doing a background on these people, because I haven't heard nobody talk about the people. I haven't heard nobody put a montage up or anything.
I posted. Yeah, they're on there.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a lot. I posted it on.
Yeah,
and Miss Tina, Beyonce's mom, did. Actually, it's been all over Facebook and Instagram. Andrew Caldwell, our favorite girlfriend, he did. He put one yesterday where he actually has each victim's face and letting you know their name and their age and whatever the case may be. So they are out there.
Yeah, and he killed most people in their 60s and 70s. You had some young people, but he killed a lot of older people. And that is just heartbreaking for me to see. Just knowing that these are their last moments. To just, like, something that you never would think happened. And why is it all this rain and the sun is just a shining?
That's because that cloud, those storm clouds are going to be passing. So.
Yeah. So, sorry. So yeah, like, this is their last day. Like, you wake up, they said somebody was getting cake for somebody. You was just telling me one lady was leaving the nursing home for her husband. Some people was just in there shopping, bitch, because they need to put food in their refrigerator. Nobody thinks, okay, this is going to be my last day. I'm going into the damn supermarket. And here this man comes. He gets out his car, boy, and just starts shooting people. And then he shot the guard he was going back and forth with the guard. The guard, he did hit the guy. He did get some bullets to hit the guy, but because of the armor that he had on, had no effect on him. And that's when the guard got shot up. But a lot of people were saying that the guard shooting with the shooter
maybe slowed him down.
And a lot of people were able to run and get away. And
I actually saw the video. I was telling Kevin I saw the video. There is an unedited version because the guy was live streaming, and I guess he had his phone attached to his vest. And so he was live streaming while this was all going on. So the video is out there. The video was sent to me yesterday, and I watched the entire video, and it is heartbreaking to watch. It is very heartbreaking to watch. To see people. First of all, when he got out of the car, when he pulled up, he was already recording. So to actually see people in the parking lot in front of the store doing what we all do when we go to the market, which is taking the groceries and loading them into a car. They're not even paying attention to the fact that this car is pulling up and this man is getting out. And he just gets out and he just starts shooting them. I said that, as unfortunate and as sad as this is, I just said last night actually, when I was home, I said, thank God there were no children walking in the market with their parents or coming out. Because this guy literally just got out and started he didn't say anything to anybody. He just got out and just started shooting. Thank God for that, because I think that even as sad and as horrible as the video is to watch, I think it probably would have been even more upsetting to see a child get, gunned down.
Yes.
The way he was gunning those people down. And he had no type of remorse at all.
No.
Watching the video, you think to yourself, I got on live today and I told people, I said, when we go into public places like the supermarket, the movie theater, we need to always be conscious of exits because of things like this. I always say that whenever I go to a supermarket, I know that God forbid, and it's crazy that we have to say this, but this is the reality that we live in. I always say I want to make sure I know where the milk section is and the meat section is, because that is the section that I was explaining to people today, that they have those swinging doors.
Yeah.
And that is the section where you can run to because it leads to the loading dock that leads outside. So I always want to be conscious of that whenever I go inside of a market, because of the fact that things like this happen, and it's so unfortunate that this has become a reality. These mass shootings are something that it's not even. It just becomes sadder and sadder when you see and hear about the victims. And now I think that this is going to become a new trend where mass shooters are going to make sure that they record what they're doing so other people can see it. Because the fact that this guy was able to live stream it and he captured everything, to the point that I was telling Kevin, as I was looking at the pictures of the victims, I identified those people in the video of them getting shot. That I was able to say, oh, that's the girl who got shot. Because it's like he was showing you. It's unbelievable. I know you said something about blaming these people, but I just have to put some blame on these Republican politicians. I have to put blame on people like Tucker Carlson and Fox News, who have these conversations about replacement theory. Because remember, like you said, this guy was radicalized because of this replacement theory, them believing that blacks and Jews and whatever else were coming into this country to wipe out the white race. Yeah. And it's like, where the hell are they getting this from? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Today was my first time. This morning when I was watching the news, that was my first time ever hearing of replacement theory. Because I don't watch. First of all, I don't watch Fox News, and then I'm not really into the news like I used to be now. Mm-hmm. So when I heard about it today, I said, "Oh my God!" Like, wait. So I went on Google and everything, and I'm like, "Come
They normally call it white replacement theory."
Yeah. And I'm like, come on, like, and then you see clips of Tucker Carlson talking about it and making excuses like, well, and then you see Matt Gaetz who tweeted something saying that he felt like Tucker Carlson was 100% right when he was talking about the whole replacement there. And I'm like,
now you got people out here, because you spew this, you got people out here, killing people or killing black people. They could be trying to kill even more. Mm-hmm. They might, I don't even want to give nobody no ideas, but it's just, I don't know. I think just seeing the faces behind the stories now is just kind of like messed with me. But I turn the damn TV off. So we got to turn it off. I can't look at it no more. If you start hitting these corporations in their pockets, they wouldn't spew this stuff on TV. But it makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money for them. Tucker Carlson gets about 3 to 4 million people watch him every night. And no matter how sad his stories, not sad, but how sickening some of the stories are, or how dumb his ideas are, somebody is sitting there watching it, and somebody is sitting there just eating it all up and just taking it all in and just believing everything that comes off of that channel. And it's people like Donald Trump. It's people like Ron DeSantis. It's people like that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. They just put anybody in office, just let anybody say anything stupid. And if they can get anybody to believe them, then they're doing something. And this is definitely not the Republican Party that we grew up. That we grew up with. This is on some whole new shit. Then everybody that's on if you're a Democrat, oh, you're radical, you're on the left, you're not tough on crime. You're not. How is Dr. Oz tough on crime? I've just seen this commercial promoting him. Dr. Oz is tough on crime. Where? I haven't heard any of his ideas where he's tough on crime or he's done anything.
Running in this state.
Yeah, and he doesn't even live here.
He doesn't even live here.
It's horrible. I think I'm really upset at the fact that 10 black people were killed just because they're black.
And majority of them were elderly.
Yeah.
The oldest, an 86-year-old woman.
They getting ready to make Sunday dinner. They getting their stuff for Sunday dinner. Here you go. Shooting them. And it's not enough people mad. Even the cops weren't mad enough. And I'm so tired of seeing mass shooters being able to get away with this. But if you're black and you might be causing a commotion. Oh, we got to pin you to the ground, throw you, toss you up, flip you up, shoot you. Oh, I thought he was going to kill me. This nigga got a gun. He got a gun. Multiple guns. And you do anything. Don't do nothing. You just take a man.
Well, see, the thing is, which I had to explain to somebody, The thing is, I want them to beat their ass too, Kevin. I really do. I want them to, before they bring them outside, to whoop their ass. But the thing is, he planned this out.
Yeah.
So when the cops got there, he totally surrendered. Mm-hmm. So he surrendered to them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like he gave them a fight, a gunfight. He surrendered. He just completely stopped and he surrendered. And it's like, as much as I want them to beat his ass, it's like if they then turn around and shoot him while he's surrendering, then that's a lawsuit that his family can file against the police department. Well, he was surrendering, so why is it that y'all shot? You understand what I'm saying? And I agree with everybody. Like, why is it that when it's somebody who's black and they're unarmed, they get treated like a dog in the street, like an animal, but then when you get these mass shooters, they're able to walk away. But in his case, I can only say in his case, he actually surrendered to them. So it's like it's hard, and I agree. Like somebody should have took him back in that store and beat the shit out of his ass. But it's like I can honestly see his family turning around and saying, you know, well, why did they kill him when he was surrendering to them? And then that'd be a whole nother story.
Oh, but what about somebody of us surrendering?
Well, that's you know I'm just. I
know what you mean. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And I agree.
And I wish that those people could have whipped his ass.
I wish that guard
that was outside
was able to. You know what I mean? But like you said, he had
market. Yeah.
He had that protective gear on because that guard in the video, the guard does fire back, and it's like the guard is hiding behind something. And I told Kevin that it's so sad because while the guard is shooting back at this guy, because the guy has on this armor and because he has an automatic rifle, it's like he doesn't even hide or run. He's still walking straight for the guard. So while the guard is shooting at him, it's like he knows what the guard's doing ain't penetrating him. So he's walking straight to the guard. And the guard literally had nowhere to run. He was like cornered in a corner. And so when he walked up on him, he shot and just killed him. And it was so sad to watch. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is what it is now. People can't even go to the fucking store. You can't even go to the... And to think that this guard was a police officer for all these years, retired, just to become a security guard and get killed. Yeah,
it's not enough people.
Man. I said that today on Facebook.
But I don't want nobody going around. People upset. I don't want nobody to be trying to go beating up white people.
I don't want that either, Kevin. But remember, I'm not telling nobody to go do nothing like this. But there was an awesome documentary that A&E had put out a few years ago about the Rodney King,
the riots in LA,
and they had showed, you know, from the time what had led up to the Rodney King beating. They showed the beating, and then they showed the days after the beating, and they showed how LA went into this whole full frontal.
Did they like burn shit down and
burn shit down, Kevin? You had to see this one clip they showed in this documentary. A helicopter, a police helicopter, or news helicopter rather, was flying over this particular intersection. And these black people were stopping cars that had white people in them and
took them out and beat their ass.
And it's like
he pulled the guy out the truck
and beat his. And this was just somebody, random white guy just driving down the street. But this was because a lot of black people at that time were upset about what happened to Rodney King. Now, I'm not saying that this is what black people should do in 2022 because of this situation. But I think that we are not mad enough. I think that we are not angry enough. 10 black people got killed in a supermarket, and half of them were over the age of 60 years old. So we're talking about people's grandmothers and grandfathers who really couldn't defend themselves. They really couldn't defend themselves against this man and his gun. You know what I mean? And we watch people's grandparents get gunned down like garbage in the street. And I don't think that we're mad enough. I just don't think we're upset enough about that. I really don't. I don't think we're upset enough about that at all.
I think it's because we are conditioned to mass shootings.
We are.
And it's nothing no more. Like, you hear mass shooting. Oh, somebody got shot up at school. Okay. Somebody got shot up at church. Okay, that was the next day.
The very next day. See, I posted this today on Facebook, and it says mass shooting, media extravaganza, thoughts and prayers, social media gun debates, no one actually does anything, back to normal, mass shooting all over again. And that's exactly what it is.
And it already depends on you doing this.
Yep.
Because as long as they got their money in those politicians' pockets, those politicians ain't gonna never do anything to try to do gun control. And they said that this man bought these guns legally, but he had a illegal firearm part on there to like make it more of a machine that I was seeing.
I actually saw on the news today on CNN that he actually was supposed to be flagged from purchasing of it.
Is it because of his mental?
I can't remember what they said, but they said he was supposed to be flagged, and they made a good point. They said you have all of this. The one guy, I can't think of his name, but I know his face on CNN. He said you have all this modern technology where you have these guns, you have the fact that this guy was able to live stream him doing this. You have all this modern technology going on, and yet we still have these 19th century laws that don't even mix with the modern technology that we have. Mm-hmm. These people are still able to go and buy guns, and they're not even supposed to be buying guns. There's no type of system or database where you can flag somebody the minute they go into a gun store, and their name is, in a system that as soon as the gun seller looks it up, there's nothing. And then on top of that, what kind of bothers me about that too, Kevin, that I'm sometimes looking at myself. I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, if we do have this system where people are flagged, you got some gun sellers who probably won't even care about that. Mm-hmm. And still sell the gun any fucking way because they're trying to make money.
Right. But I mean, they could what you call it? I would find that store a lot of money. And you could probably, the families probably could potentially sue that gun owner.
Yeah.
I mean, that store, because they shouldn't have sold that man that gun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lawsuits that come out of this.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to sue the people that sold him the gun, but to drive 200 miles from a low point of New York to Buffalo, what is he thinking that whole time?
That's what I said today too, Kevin. I said, you mean to tell me in the 3 hours that he was driving to Buffalo, nothing clicked in his head and said, you know what, turn the fuck around.
Yeah. And he's been to there. He went there before, the day before, and he was there in March. They said, so he was there 2 months ago, and he was there Friday, I guess, scoping it out and making his plan. And if he was able to do all this on the apps. Like, y'all able to see it. How are y'all able to see it now?
Right.
But not before.
Right. So who's really monitoring these apps?
I don't get this shit.
I don't get it either. Why is it now, 2 days after this happens, we hear about all these pages of stuff
all
that he wrote
social media
and all of this stuff that he was on and all that stuff that he was looking at. But on Friday, the day before this happened, nobody was at his front door trying to stop, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And then they said that the school had even been alerted about him.
Yeah,
and instead of the school alerting authorities, they handled it themselves.
Their own way. And it said the school chooses to handle things the way the school chooses to handle things. What kind of fucking statement is that? To just put out there. It's horrible. I don't know how these talking heads, these people on Fox News, these Republicans who do this replacement theory, how do you defend yourself knowing that someone out there murdered people based on the bullshit that you spew on TV every night? How do you feel about that now? Because if Anderson Cooper was doing this, if Joy Reid was doing this, if Rachel Maddow was doing this, you would never hear the end of it on Fox News. You would never hear the end of it. So what do you say? I think that it's time that, these companies stop advertising on these shows. And I'm sure you could get these companies to, because that's how they got Bill O'Reilly off the air. Fox News was just basically showing Fox News commercials after a point, because he no longer had ads on the show because he was sexually assaulting people. But now you got people out there saying shit about white replacement theory, and now people are trying to take action against it. This is just one episode. But think about how many people don't get jobs that are black based on what you put out there, and they're well qualified. Or what if someone just like, I'm gonna just beat this person up, or I'm gonna just do this and do that. Like it's just all kinds of stuff going on, man. And I just pray that I can come back here every night, or even in the morning when I'm outside. I'm just like, You just gotta keep your eyes open. I was telling people, my job said, when my headphones are on my head, my headphones are never on when I'm outside, because I need to pay attention to my surroundings. I never keep my headphones fully in my head. Now on the train, that's something different, but you know, when I'm outside, because I need to know what's going on. I need to hear what's going on, and I feel sorry for those families that were impacted. And just seeing the stories of the people who were in there, and they were saying like, that could have been me, that could have been me. If this guy didn't do this, that definitely would have been me. And they were saying like, she's like, it happened so fast. She said that we were literally 3 to 4 seconds away from getting shot. And she said her phone was in there. Bitch, she said she ran. And you talking about the flip flops? One of them flip flops was hers, cause she ran out.
It was,
and her daughter was in there.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. You could, first of all, when you hear people say that this literally happened that fast, they're absolutely right. Because like I said, I saw the video.
Just think of how many bullets you could shoot that quick.
The video, it literally happened so fast. It happened so fast that as I'm watching the video, I'm like, wait, like, it happened that fast. And that particular gun, and like you just said, all of the bullets that he let out while he was just in the parking lot. By the time he went inside of the market, and at one end of the market, you could kind of see the chaos of, you could tell people may have been running and stuff, because stuff was knocked all over and whatever the case may be. It's like, oh my God. Like, and when you, as I was watching the thing, and I was telling Kevin, the first two people that you see when he walks into the market are two elderly women. One is lying on the ground, and the other one is crawling away. And the one that's lying, she's lying like on her side, but her back is towards him as he's walking in the store. So you can tell that she was already hit, because the way she's lying, she's just lying there. And then when he goes to shoot again, you see her body react, and then she falls over on her back. And it's like, oh my God. Like, you think to yourself, what the fuck is the matter with people?
That you should be red flagged as soon as you go for mental.
Yep.
When it comes to your mental
it's
stability,
always them, though. Why is it always them?
Yeah, then you get to say it was mental, but not us.
Not us. It's never mental with us, but with them.
But this man had a whole plan.
Because had he been able to leave that market, his plan was to leave the market, get back in his car, and then drive down the road to another busy store with a bunch of black people, and then do the same thing in there. But thank God, and I was telling Kevin that when you see them pull up, you can actually see people, you can see cars with their trunks open in the parking lot. So that lets me know that there were people in the parking lot putting groceries in their car, whatever. So thank God for those people that heard the gunshot and immediately called 911, because they said that the cops were there within a minute. And you can tell that they got there fast, because as fast as he did what he did, he then stopped. So they got there fast. And thank God, but it's just like, in those few seconds, it's like, nobody got there fast enough.
You
because
don't need those type of weapons.
Yeah. I don't understand why are they selling those type of weapons to average people?
Yeah, those are.
What are you hunting with a assault rifle? What are you hunting, other than people? Because you ain't hunting animals with that. So what exactly are you hunting? That's why I don't get when they say, "Oh, this is for hunters." What are you hunting with an assault rifle? I don't. Whatever happened to the old days when the old men used to have those rifles and the boom, and then you boom and cock it, and then you. But you got where you just letting off about 40 and 30 rounds in 10 seconds. It's unbelievable, and they're still getting sold. You would have thought something would have changed after Sandy Hook in 2012. Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. Like you said, and then this happened on Saturday afternoon, and then the next day, Sunday morning in California, somebody goes into a church and shoot a church up. Like, what the fuck?
You can't do nothing.
That's why I tell people, you have to be careful. You just got to be careful of your surroundings. It's a blessing when we leave our homes and then make it home at the end of the night. It's a blessing, because no one, there's nowhere, there's no book, there's no sign, There's nothing that says when you leave home, you're going to make it home at the end of the night.
Sure
There's
don't.
nothing. So when you do make it home at the end of the night, that is a blessing. And I don't care who you believe in, but you better thank them when you get to walk back in your front door, because there's nothing that says that when you leave that you're guaranteed to make it home.
Right.
Tonight.
I'd be like, ooh, if they found some of my... Let me stop trying.
Yeah.
But I said,
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You know, you got to clean stuff out.
I do.
Okay.
I said, ooh, they come in
Yeah.
here.
But I'm just, you understand what I'm saying? Like, those people at that market had every intention on going home after they left. Because that's usually what people do when they leave the market, is they go home.
You go home. I'm not stopping in no house, going straight home. I feel horrible about this. I'm glad I didn't cry, because I thought I was going to break down. Seeing them elderly people, they ain't, it's 80-something, 70-something, 60-something, 50-something, and you just wipe out their lives. Grandmothers, probably great-grandmothers. It's just horrible. Whew, I don't even think this could be a part of this.
They need to put him in a room by himself with about 200 big sewer rats and just let them gnaw at his body. And when they put him in the room with the rats, put honey all over his body so something can attract the rats. And just let them eat him alive. They need, instead of doing these lethal injections or no, put them in a room with a bunch of rats. Rats. Not no white lab rats, but the rats that are in the sewer. Capture these rats that are in the sewer for people like him, and then put him in a room with these rats, cover his body with honey, and then let them rats eat him alive.
See, I'm more let the family shoot and kill him.
Yeah, or let them have their way. Yeah, that too. But if that can't happen, put him in a room with a bunch of rats. And I'm dead serious, Kevin. Let him suffer the way those people suffered. Let him suffer.
He threw his whole life away.
He threw at 18 years old. You threw your whole fucking life away. If he don't kill himself in jail, or if the people in jail don't kill him, which I can't say certain things that I want to say, but if they don't get to him, best believe he's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars for somebody like a Tucker Carlson and this replacement theory. And I hope they put him in a prison with a bunch of black people and let them deal with him in there. Yeah. So, you don't want to be living with them out on the street? Well, then you live with them in prison. And I'm not going to
you know they probably going to give him some special treatment.
But let me tell you something. First of all, he's going to be under protective custody. Those type of prisoners, they put them under protective custody anyway. However, the moment they take him out,
right.
There should be something waiting for him. Somebody should take and bash his fucking head in. You kill people's grandparents. You kill old women, old men who... Right. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna just get you because you're black. That might set a new something new.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
that's going to inspire other people.
But it already did, Kevin. Look, we saw this. What we just talked about in the church in South Carolina. That guy went in that church and did what he did because those people were black. And then had the audacity to sit with them people throughout the whole prayer service, and then at the end shot and killed them. Did you ever see the picture of him in there with them?
I don't even want to see it.
So there's a picture of him at one of the guys, the young guys had, I guess, took a picture of the service, and you see him sitting there like towards the back. And this was like the last picture the guy had posted on social media before he got killed. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, like. These type, I'm telling y'all, what? Jail? No. Put them in a room with a bunch of rats. Or put them in a room with fucking 3 pit bulls. And a Rottweiler.
Now I would like to see the dogs.
And let them have their way. And I'm not talking about any pit bulls or any Rottweilers. I'm talking about the ones that you be seeing at the car lots. At the junkyards. Them junk dogs. That bark when you just walking on the sidewalk and they just barking, running down the gate, following you as you walking down the sidewalk. You're not even on the other side of the gate and they're barking.
I remember they had them type of dogs at 25th and Sedgley. Like as soon as you come down Diamond Street,
they just barking.
bark, run around like it's like 2 or 3
Yeah,
of them.
that's the room that they need to put people like him in, with them type of dogs that'll maul you, and they won't stop mauling until you take your last breath.
Yeah. Well, we got to make a part 2.